Women's desire for luxury hides a deeper hunger. Schopenhauer. Exposed the reason. You observe it, don't you? The pervasive fascination with luxury. The magnetic pull towards opulence, designer brands, grand homes, and extravagant lifestyles. It's not just a fleeting preference. For many women, it appears to be a profound, almost insatiable desire, a relentless pursuit that drives choices, shapes aspirations, and often dictates the very terms of relationships. You might interpret this as mere vanity, superficial materialism, or a quest for social status. You might see it as a conscious choice for comfort, or a symptom of modern consumerism. But what if this apparent desire for luxury, this glittering exterior, hides something far more ancient, far more primal, and utterly unconscious? What if, as the profoundly insightful, yet often unsettling philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer grimly revealed, women's desire for luxury is not an end in itself, but a manifestation of a deeper, insatiable hunger. A hunger that is not personal, but rooted in the blind, relentless imperative of the species. This is not a cynical dismissal of all material comfort, or a bitter condemnation of women. It is a stark, uncomfortable unveiling of a fundamental, biological, and psychological dynamic that, once understood, can shatter your romantic illusions and leave you with a haunting clarity. It is an invitation to strip away the comforting veneer of superficial desires and confront a brutal truth that, according to Schopenhauer, lies at the heart of human relationships. Until you grasp this profound, hidden hunger, you will remain a captive of your own illusion, perpetually vulnerable to forces you cannot comprehend, and forever bewildered by the true source of discontent, despite your tireless efforts to provide. Schopenhauer's will to life. The insatiable consumer. To comprehend this unsettling revelation, we must first immerse ourselves in the chilling core of Arthur Schopenhauer's philosophy, the will to life. For Schopenhauer, the entire universe, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy, is governed by a blind, irrational, ceaseless, and insatiable striving force, the will to life. 1. In the context of human relationships, this is more precisely the will to reproduction, a primordial, unconscious urge that drives all existence, including, most powerfully, sexual love and, crucially, the desires that shape our material pursuits. Its ultimate, singular purpose is its own propagation, the endless, relentless continuation of the species, utterly indifferent to the happiness or suffering of the individual. Here, Schopenhauer transforms seemingly conscious desires for material goods into expressions of this primal, unconscious will. The will is an insatiable consumer, perpetually demanding resources and optimal conditions for its own perpetuation. Luxury, in this context, is not a simple indulgence. It is a complex manifestation of this deeper, fundamental craving for perfect conditions, for maximum advantage in the endless struggle for survival and procreation. The intoxicating feeling of attraction, the feeling of romantic love, and even the desire for a lavish lifestyle, these are exquisitely crafted illusions, powerful narcotics administered by the will to ensure its ends. 2. You believe you are pursuing wealth or providing luxury for personal happiness, for shared comfort, or to please a partner. Schopenhauer would assert your conscious reasons are mere rationalizations, pretty justifications for a deeper, unconscious imperative. The will is interested only in optimal offspring, the next generation, thriving in the most secure and advantageous environment. It manipulates your deepest desires, your very perception of what constitutes a good life, to ensure the optimal genetic pairing and the secure continuation of life under ideal circumstances. You are a wingless creature, crawling in circles, believing your pursuit of material abundance is for personal contentment, never realizing you are merely fulfilling the species' biological imperative to accumulate resources, irrespective of your personal desires. Your relentless striving is driven by a hidden puppeteer. What true contentment can be found in a pursuit driven by a blind, unconscious force that demands endless accumulation, indifferent to your personal satisfaction? What freedom is there in striving for luxury if your very ambition is a sophisticated biological trick designed for propagation, not profound personal fulfillment? This understanding is the cornerstone of Schopenhauer's chilling insight. The desire for luxury, as we experience it, is a grand, elaborate deception, played by nature upon the individual for the sake of the species, masking a deeper, insatiable hunger. The male perspective, blinded by the external show. Before revealing the true nature of this deeper hunger, we must grasp how men are fundamentally deluded by the will, making them profoundly vulnerable to women's desire for luxury. For men, according to Schopenhauer, love manifests as an overwhelming, often irrational, and highly specific drive towards a particular woman, inspiring intense devotion. This often leads them to misinterpret women's desire for luxury as mere vanity, superficial materialism, or conscious greed. They see the external show but miss the underlying biological imperative. Men, in their deluded romantic idealism, strive to provide this luxury, believing they are buying affection, proving their worth, or securing a deeper love. They dedicate immense resources, their time, their energy, their very financial security to acquire the glittering baubles, the grand homes, the lavish experiences, all to satisfy what they perceive as a personal longing from their partner. You become a soldier seduced by the shimmer of his enemy's blade, luxury, believing it to be a glorious prize, love, never realizing it is an instrument designed for a purpose far removed from your personal well-being or her individual satisfaction. This profound longing, this romantic idealization combined with a desire to provide, compels you to pursue endlessly, often against your own better judgment, driven by a biological imperative disguised as an ultimate personal desire. The will uses your eagerness to provide, your capacity for singular devotion, as a highly efficient mechanism for accumulating resources around an optimal genetic pairing. It blinds you to the true, insatiable nature of the hunger and makes you overlook the fact that such provision, while appreciated, never truly satisfies the deeper, unconscious drive it serves. What true love can exist when one party is driven by a profound, idealized emotional attachment and the other, unconsciously, is driven by a species-level imperative for resource acquisition? What satisfaction can be found in endlessly providing for a desire that is rooted not in personal longing, but in an insatiable biological demand? Men, blinded by their idealism, become willing participants in a transaction where their resources are consumed, but their personal longing for reciprocal fulfillment remains unmet. The deeper hunger, revealed, security, provision, and the future of the species. Here is Schopenhauer's chilling insight into the deeper hunger that luxury conceals. While men are manipulated by the will through a powerful, idealized love, women, Schopenhauer contended, are the will's more direct, pragmatic, and utterly unconscious instrument. Their attraction and love are fundamentally strategic, focused on securing the best possible conditions for future offspring and their own survival as the primary means to this end. The desire for luxury, far from being superficial, is an unconscious, strategic imperative for optimal security, superior provision, and an advantageous future for the species. Her focus, driven by the species' will, is keenly attuned to what a man represents for the future of the lineage. Is he capable of providing abundant resources and unshakable security? Is he strong and healthy enough to protect and nurture? Does he possess superior genes for the next generation? Is he stable, reliable, and socially capable? The desire for luxury is a direct manifestation of this assessment. Luxury is not merely aesthetic pleasure, it's a signal of immense capability and robust resources. It demonstrates a man's genetic fitness, indirectly through his ability to acquire wealth, his capacity to provide a safe and privileged environment, and his high social standing goal crucial for the survival and flourishing of the offspring. This deeper hunger is for the optimal conditions for reproduction, for the continuation of life in comfort and security. It is the primordial need for a thriving environment for the next generation. Luxury, in this cold, pragmatic calculus, is simply the most efficient symbol of that capacity. It is a love that evaluates, assesses, and selects based on criteria that ultimately serve the survival and flourishing of the species, not the individual man's romantic fulfillment. The luxury she desires is the manifestation of the will's hunger for superior future conditions. What crushing disillusionment awaits the man who believes he is loved for his unique soul, when he is primarily valued for his utility as a resource provider, and the luxury he offers is consumed by a hunger, not for his individual self, but for the optimal conditions for the species' future. What fulfillment can be found in perpetually trying to fill a biological void with material possessions? This is the heartbreaking truth. The deeper hunger for luxury is not personal desire, but the species' insatiable craving for robust, protected, and well-provided, for continuation. Luxury as a signal, the language of the species, will. Luxury, in Schopenhauer's framework, functions as a powerful, unspoken signaler language understood by the unconscious will to life, not the conscious mind. It communicates precisely what the species will prioritizes. Firstly, it is a clear signal of provision. A man's ability to acquire and sustain luxury demonstrates his capacity to acquire and manage significant resources. This reassures the unconscious imperative for security and material well-being, which are foundational for raising offspring. The more opulent the display, the stronger the signal of reliable provision. Secondly, luxury functions as a signal of protection and status. A man who can afford and maintain a luxurious lifestyle often holds a high social standing, indicating his capacity to navigate and potentially dominate the social world, thereby providing a safer and more advantageous environment for a family. This signals not just physical protection, but societal protection, a shield against hardship. Thirdly, though indirectly, it serves as a signal of genetic fitness. While not a direct genetic marker, the ability to generate and maintain significant wealth or status often correlates with intelligence, drive, health, and resourcefulness qualities that are highly desirable for genetic contribution to the next generation. Thus, the desire for luxury can be an unconscious proxy for selecting superior biological assets. Finally, luxury signals ease and comfort, reducing hardship for raising children. A life of luxury mitigates suffering, frees up energy, and provides access to better education, healthcare, and opportunities, all of which benefit the offspring. The deeper hunger is for this effortless existence, where the will can propagate in comfort, free from the brutal struggle that consumes so much energy. What personal fulfillment can be found in perpetually striving to communicate a message encoded for the species' benefit, not for your own emotional satisfaction? What emotional reward can be derived from satisfying a hunger that, by its very nature, is less about you and more about optimal propagation? Luxury, in this context, is the visible manifestation of the species' insatiable demands, a perpetual payment plan for the will's relentless pursuit of its own ends. The unseen burden, the cost to the man. The failure to recognize this deeper hunger and the strategic role luxury plays in satisfying it for the species places an enormous unseen burden on men. They often fall into a trap of perpetual striving, attempting to satisfy an insatiable drive they don't comprehend, leading to significant personal costs. This results in perpetual striving and financial depletion. Men are driven to constantly acquire more wealth, work longer hours, and take greater financial risks, in a never-ending effort to meet a demand that, being biological, is fundamentally insatiable. This pursuit often comes at the expense of their own well-being, relationships, and genuine life purpose, leading to chronic stress, burnout, and profound financial strain. They are like wingless creatures, perpetually running, throwing more and more resources into a bottomless well, believing their efforts will finally fill it and bring contentment. Beyond the material, there's a profound spiritual exhaustion and a feeling of inadequacy. Men who constantly strive to provide luxury, yet fail to satisfy this unconscious, deeper hunger, often feel perpetually inadequate. They wonder why their efforts, their sacrifices, their material provisions don't lead to the profound personal fulfillment or unwavering affection they expect. This leads to a quiet resentment, a sense of being perpetually shortchanged, because they are unknowingly trying to satisfy a species-level demand with personal effort, a futile endeavor. They sacrifice their personal freedom and vital energy to chase an illusion. They often experience a loss of self-sovereignty. Their lives become dictated by the demands of acquiring and maintaining luxury, compromising their true passions, their integrity, and their autonomy. Their purpose shifts from self-authored growth to meeting an external, unconsciously driven demand for provision. This transformation turns them into mere instruments of the will, rather than sovereign individuals charting their own course. What personal peace can be found in a life consumed by the endless pursuit of external markers designed to satisfy a biological hunger, not your own soul? What fulfillment can be derived from constantly acquiring, only to find the hunger remains? The unseen burden of this pursuit ensures that men remain perpetually striving, perpetually consumed, and subtly drained by a demand they can never fully meet, because it is not for them, but for the relentless perpetuation of life itself. The illusion of personal fulfillment. A hunger never satiated. The tragic irony of women's desire for luxury, driven by this deeper hunger, is that it is often rooted in an illusion of personal fulfillment. Being a hunger for the species, it can never be truly satisfied by individual acquisition or personal comfort alone. A woman may acquire a lavish home, designer clothes, and exotic vacations, and experience temporary pleasure. But if the underlying drive is the species' will's insatiable craving for optimal conditions for propagation, then no amount of personal luxury can ever truly satiate it. The hunger will persist, always seeking the next, better condition, the next level of security, the next demonstration of provision. This leads to perpetual dissatisfaction, a relentless more, a constant striving for what is just beyond reach, because the will's ultimate goal is endless, not finite, perfection. This constant striving creates a profound disconnect. The man believes he is providing to make her happy, to bring her contentment, but he is unknowingly providing for a biological imperative that is never truly satiated by any individual act of generosity. This leaves both the man and the woman in a perpetual state of striving. The man exhausted by the chase, the woman subtly dissatisfied by the fleeting nature of gratification. The luxurious life becomes a gilded cage, an elaborate performance, rather than a source of genuine, lasting peace. What genuine happiness can be found in a pursuit that is inherently insatiable, driven by a force that uses individuals for its own ends? What tranquility can exist when you are perpetually seeking more, because the underlying hunger you serve is boundless? The illusion of personal fulfillment through luxury is the will's cruelest trick, ensuring endless striving and perpetual dissatisfaction for those caught in its grasp. Breaking the cycle, radical disillusionment, and true value. So, how does one break free from this insidious cycle, this pursuit of luxury driven by a deeper, insatiable hunger? How does a man avoid being perpetually drained by a demand he cannot truly satisfy? Schopenhauer, being a pessimist, offered a grim yet intellectually liberating path, a radical form of disillusionment. He argued that true freedom, true escape from the endless, suffering-laden striving of the will, comes from understanding its mechanism and then deliberately detaching from its influence. His solutions were primarily intellectual, gaining knowledge of the will's true nature through philosophy and rigorous thought, seeing through its deceptions. For the modern man, his core insight provides a powerful pathway to self-sovereignty. The power lies in knowing the truth, however painful. This means developing profound intellectual detachment from romantic illusions and the allure of materialism. It's not about rejecting comfort entirely, but about seeing the desire for luxury for what it fundamentally is through Schopenhauer's lens, a powerful, often beautiful, but ultimately deceptive drive, orchestrated by the species' will to achieve its reproductive ends. This radical disillusionment is not easy. It's the terrifying act of pulling back the veil, of seeing the puppeteer behind the scenes. It means accepting that the desire for luxury, both in yourself and others, is often a manifestation of this unconscious, insatiable hunger, not a simple personal preference. This is the courage to embrace an uncomfortable truth rather than clinging to a comforting lie. This intellectual clarity is your shield against unconscious manipulation, allowing you to see the luxury trap for what it is, and thus disarm its power over your wallet and spirit. What freedom can you claim if you remain perpetually ensnared by an illusion that causes you endless suffering and consumption? What genuine contentment can you forge if you refuse to understand the true nature of the forces at play, the insatiable hunger that drives the pursuit of luxury? The path to breaking the spell is the path of knowledge, however bitter its taste, leading to profound self-sovereignty. The sovereign man's true abundance. Choosing conscious value. So, what does this haunting revelation mean for modern men navigating relationships and material pursuits? It means shifting your paradigm from chasing external displays of wealth to a more grounded, more honest understanding of true value and abundance. It means reclaiming your own sovereignty, not by abandoning all material comfort, but by approaching it with clear eyes and a profound sense of self-awareness. Firstly, cultivate radical self-possession and purpose independent of external validation. Stop making your worth or your partner's happiness contingent on material acquisition. Anchor your life in your own mission, your own values, your own creative endeavors. When you are a man pursuing his own purpose, his own self-authorship, your attraction becomes magnetic, not needy, and your value is self-derived, not measured by your possessions. This is the man who embodies true abundance, drawing others in through his inner wealth. Secondly, redefine value not as material luxury, but as truth, wisdom, and genuine contribution. Acknowledge that while comfort is appreciated, true fulfillment comes from aligning with your higher self, not from perpetually chasing a consumerist ideal. Seek a partner who values your depth, your integrity, your purpose, and your shared growth, rather than your capacity to provide endless luxury. This is a conscious choice for a partnership built on tangible alignment and mutual spiritual enrichment, rather than a phantom ideal fueled by the species' insatiable hunger. Thirdly, embrace disillusionment as liberation. The recognition that the desire for luxury is often a biological imperative does not diminish all material comfort, but it strips away its most painful illusions of guaranteed happiness or personal fulfillment. This allows you to engage with material pursuits with open eyes, understanding the underlying currents, and thereby protecting yourself from profound financial and spiritual heartbreak. You can appreciate comfort without being enslaved by its deceptive promises. This intellectual clarity is your shield against the relentless consumerism. Finally, and perhaps most crucially, direct your intense masculine drive not solely towards material accumulation, but towards creative pursuits, philosophical inquiry, self-mastery, and profound contribution to the world. Channel that immense energy into building a life of purpose and meaning that is independent of any single external validation or material display. When your deepest hunger is for your own becoming, your own truth, your own contribution, your interactions with others, including women, come from a place of genuine abundance, not desperate need to fill a biological void. You become immune to the demands of luxury. The path beyond Schopenhauer's haunting revelation, the path to understanding why women's desire for luxury hides a deeper hunger, is not one of cynical poverty, but one of radical self-awareness and courageous redefinition of value. It demands that you shed the illusions that have kept you enslaved to a false promise of material fulfillment. It requires you to understand the will's game, and thereby refuse to be merely its pawn. Will you continue to chase the illusion of happiness through luxury, perpetually seeking to satisfy a hunger that is, by nature, unachievable, leading to endless frustration and financial depletion? Will you remain a wingless creature, caught in the will's deceptive currents, a mere instrument for its strategic agenda, perpetually providing for a hunger that is never truly your own? Or will you have the immense courage to look upon Schopenhauer's chilling revelation with clear eyes, to dismantle the comforting myths that bind you, to step into the terrifying, yet infinitely rewarding, work of truly knowing yourself, owning yourself, and embodying your full, integrated, sovereign power, so that you pursue true abundance of spirit, purpose, and self-mastery, rather than chasing a hunger for luxury that is never truly yours. Women's desire for luxury hides a deeper hunger, but your true abundance is your power. Reclaim it.